Do you remember anything else about the day you found the thingamajig with the springs and the paint can?
Yeah, no. Wait, yeah. Well, no. Now that I think of it, no. Hey, pal, how about thanking a good-looking goat with a cigarette?
Of course. Here you go.
Yeah, you think you're not responsible for my pathetic state? Think you're not to blame? It's the government that shipped me off to war.
They shipped me off too.
Oh, right. So then you know what it's like to kill too. Well, then another sad hobo shouldn't be a problem for you, Professor.
Yeah, I killed people.
And yet, you don't want to help me die. Wait, but that's not what I wanted to say. Oh, well, you know we goats tend to jump from one thing to another. The government paid for everything. Army fatigues, rations, weapons, lodging at hookers, drugs. Do you know where that money comes from? Taxes! Your taxes, my dear friend. You helped them cut my legs. They declare war. Every chance they get so that the weapon industry that finances their campaigns gets richer and richer and richer. And that's how we finance their wars. So the slightest connection with corruption turns us into accomplices. Unless one manages to keep at arm's length. That is what I did, my loyal disciple. At the Million-Star Hotel. So, do like your master, the great...
Hey, what's your name? You never told me... What can you tell me about Sonia Dunn?
I barely know her, but she looks like a smart girl, poor thing.
Let's talk a bit more about Joe Dunn. Can you tell me how you found Dunn's body?
Well, I thought I was alone. I clean early in the morning before Mr. Dunn comes in.
Oh, so you have keys to the gym.
Yes, of course. There was paint on the floor, so I thought it'd be a busy morning. And then I saw him, hanging there, like a baby mobile over a crib. Then I think I panicked. When I calmed down, I called the police and waited outside. Sorry, that's all I can say.
Don't worry. But if you remember anything else, let me know. What kind of boss was Joe Dunn?
A good one. Always paid on time, never raised his voice. If I asked for the day off, he even cleaned the gym.
How was Joe Dunn outside the gym?
I wouldn't know. I only saw him at the gym or right there. That was his spot. I think everyone liked him.
Thanks, but I still don't get why he'd commit suicide. Maybe he simply had money issues.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be. The gym didn't really get that dirty lately.
His wife died years ago. Maybe he never got over it.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe he did. That was a long time ago.
I heard his relationship with his daughter wasn't ideal.
Oh, really? Poor man. I don't have kids, but that has to be really hard.
Have you remembered anything else about the moment you found Dunn's body?
I really can't remember anything. I'm sorry.
Any ideas where Bobby Yale could be?
How am I supposed to know? He's rarely there when I clean the gym. Bobby seems like a nice kid, but I barely know him.
What do you think about Jake Ostiambi?
Who? Who's that?
A big gorilla. Boxer, too. A friend of Joe Dunn's.
Oh, yeah. I barely know him. I don't like how he looks at me.
Can I ask you about your job?
Which one?
Tell me about your work here in the diner.
Oh, it's wonderful. I love it. My boss.
Oh, glad to hear that. How long have you worked at the gym?
It's been, 4 or 5 years? Although, I don't think I'll be able to set foot in there again.
This must be really hard for you. I'm sorry. Other than the diner and the gym, you don't work anywhere else, right?
I wouldn't have the time, although I'm not sure I want to continue working at the gym.
If I were you, I wouldn't quit. Trust me, it might be painful at first, but time heals all wounds.
Joey used to say the same thing. Maybe. I don't know. Thanks.
Sorry. I think that's it for now. See you around.
We'll miss you at Sam's Diner. Bye-bye.
I'd prefer a yellow Cadillac, but I can't complain. He opened it during the war? That's odd. I'd prefer a yellow Cadillac, but I can't complain.
Thank you, Mr. Blacksad.
Does the postman always leave your mail on the floor?
I don't know, I...
What's wrong?
It's my mother's wedding ring.
Who had it?
I don't know. My father wore it on his pinky finger after she died.
Not always, apparently.
Will you find out why?
I'll try. But there's something else I'm worried about. This might have something to do with your father's death and Bobby Yale's disappearance.
Oh my, yes. It could be. Will you please give me a moment?
Of course. Okay. Mary put the wedding ring in the envelope and wrote Sonia Dunn on it. But why did she have the ring in the first place? Were Mary Purnell and Joe Dunn an item? What if Mary's birthday is the combination to the safe?
Yes?
I need to search your office.
Go on.
And there it was, Mary's birthday, a week prior to that very day. I never would have taken Dunn for a gun owner. A few bucks, just petty cash.
You open the safe?
Yeah, and I think you need to see this. Can you tell me what it says?
All right. I think this might be useful for the investigation, Mr. Detective. He left everything to me, except some boxing trophies and knickknacks that'll go to Bobby Yale.
When was it signed?
It was written 4 years ago, just weeks after I moved to Buffalo.
Do you think Bobby Yale read it before he disappeared?
Maybe.
Congratulations. You're one lucky lady.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
All right. Thanks. You see, I've got this friend. He's a journalist, and the thing is, well, He would like to interview you.
Why?
A woman running a boxing gym? That's quite the story.
And how did this friend of yours find out, exactly?
I'm pretty sure he saw the,
I don't even want to hear you. I just hope you prove your professional worth before the day is over.
I never asked about the gym's insurance.
That's exactly what I'm reading now. So far, it looks like your standard small business policy.
Thanks. That's it for now. I get it. You don't like me. But there's something you need to know.
I'm all ears.
Rest assured, I'll find Bobby Yale.
Duly noted, Mr. Blacksad.
Dunn's room had quite a view. I know you're hiding something.
What?
Happy birthday. I just found out it was a week ago.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. I'm sure you received wonderful presents. For example, your date of birth used as the combination for Dunn's safe.
My goodness. I can't talk here. My shift is over in 10 minutes. Can you wait a while?
Can I get a refill over here, Mary?
Coming right up.
Mary Purnell, the angel Joe Dunn found in his golden years.
We'd been seeing each other for almost 2 years. It all started with, well, weekdays I start cleaning the gym at dawn, before my shift at the diner. Joey always came in early, just a little after I got there. He used to say it was the best time for the worst task of the day.
Oh, I know exactly what he meant. Say no more. Paperwork.
He really hated it. One morning, he saw me crying. I was having a rough day and...
He tried to make you smile.
He pointed at the coffee machine. You need a cup of joe and some fresh air. That was the first of many cups on the rooftop.
Which is where Dunn seduced you.
That word is a bit too much, Mr. Blacksad. You might be too young to understand this, but real love has little to do with seduction. One day, we realized those rooftop coffees were the best part of our day. So we began to spend more time together.
But you never told anyone. Or perhaps you told someone else?
No one. Joey didn't want Sonia to hear about it from someone else before we were sure of the relationship. He was afraid that our relationship would only make matters worse. Until one day, on the rooftop, we realized just how serious our relationship was, and we decided to turn those moments into a lifetime.
So he asked you to marry him.
Yes, of course. He gave me the wedding ring, and we decided to tell the world. He said he needed to share that happiness with his little girl. Turns out, he wasn't that happy after all.
What about Yale? Wasn't he like a son to him?
Maybe you already noticed I have a slight cold. I really should be heading home.
Maybe you should cover your neck.
I lost my scarf a while back, not sure where. And now, if you'll excuse me, that's my bus stop. A pleasure to speak with you, Mr. Blacksad.
But... Did you know Joe Dunn had a gun in his safe?
No way, man. He hated firearms. Although, when Bobby Yale was a teenager, he went through a crazy phase. Even dropped out of the gym and joined the gang. Nothing serious. Early one morning, he broke in the gym. Joe was already here and caught him red-handed. Bobby pointed the gun at Dunn and ordered him to open the safe. So, Joe opened it and asked Bobby to put the gun aside, leave the gang, and start boxing again. I got here 5 minutes later and found Bobby crying like a baby in Joe's arms. Then he just stood up and put on his gloves.
Joe Dunn or Joey Dunn?
Huh? Nobody called him Joey. Well, maybe his wife. Although, she didn't call him anything after she died.
I think I know who had your mother's ring.
You do?
Mary Purnell. I think she was in love with your father.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you think about Mary, the cleaning lady?
Can't say. I barely know her. And I'm not one who's quick to judge other people.
Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know.
Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know.
What leads a man to do something like this? Life's already dealt me a fair share of blows, but... I don't know why. Something just doesn't add up.
Smirnoff.
I think I have a new lead on the Dunn case. Dunn and the gym's cleaning lady were about to get married.
Great. Call What's News. They'll know what to do with such an incredibly interesting piece of information.
The combination on Dunn's safe was her birthday. He even gave her a ring. You know, your typical suicidal bliss.
Okay, I'm still not convinced, but I might have something for you.
Life is off and off key, like a bad song. The notes come together but feel flat, unable to create anything resembling music. And yet, there are ways to string them together to create harmony. Ways that are not always entirely in our hands.
You look tired, John.
I can't help it. It's just the way we cats are.
Well, I can't help but be glad to see you. Yep, I'm beat. I'm starving. Just got back from the annual police medical. Not only did I have to fast, but I also had to chug 2 enormous glasses of water. John, you all right?
I've had better days, and I'll have them again, I hope.
We both deserve to. The thing is, I'd love to help you out with this case, but I can't. You know I work for the state of New York. If I had any information, I couldn't share it with a private eye. Even if it was lying on top of this table.
You said you were starving. Why don't you go to the counter and order something?
Yeah, sure, good idea. If you'll excuse me.
Hmm. Interesting.
Now that I think of it, I better eat at home. It's healthier.
Thanks.
Truth is, John, it all seemed clear to me before, but now? Please, promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
I'll try, but sometimes there's no alternative.
All right. In any case, keep me posted, will you?
Friend, you can count on it.
Take care, John.
As always, Smirnov had given me new, potentially relevant information. Not to mention second thoughts. When an old dog like him gets that serious, one must be prepared to bite. I'm much taller than Dunn, and I can barely reach the noose. There's no way Dunn hanged himself. Not on his own, at least. Bobby, yeah. I don't know if you had a motive to kill Dunn, but you certainly had the murder weapon. Christ. Did Yale kill Dunn just because he wanted to call off the fight?
I always knew Bobby had issues. But I never thought he'd go that far.
Everything seems to point in that direction. I'm certain of it.
But he could have been framed, couldn't he? In any case, that doesn't change a thing.
It does, actually. Now we know he didn't kill himself.
My father's still dead, and you still haven't found Bobby Yale. Nothing has changed. Opening the safe and finding my father's will won't help us achieve anything. So please hurry. Time's wasting.
Sonia's indifference never ceased to amaze me. But most importantly, why was she suddenly defending Yale?
John Blacksad? I think I owe you an apology.
Apology accepted. But what exactly are you apologizing for?
Listen, I don't think my fellow workers treated you with the respect you deserve. I'm so sorry they wrinkled your suit. The thing is, they didn't know we shared a common goal. Bobby Yale. I want to find him and get to the bottom of this as much as you do, Mr. Blacksad. So please, kindly accept my invitation. Why not share our findings? Come on.
Of course. You don't mind me riding in this fancy car with a wrinkled suit, do you?
Aw, I think you look mighty dapper, Mr. Blacksad. Although, if those wrinkles were to rub off on me... I always play it nice and safe. Thank you, Blacksad. You won't regret this. So let's cut to the chase. I need Bobby Yale to fight Stone. There's just too much money at stake. So, I'm offering you my help to find Yale. Let's work together.
What kind of help do you need?
A simple exchange of information. You're a good detective, and I, well, let's just say I have my own ways of making people talk.
All right, then. Let's work together.
I thought you'd be hard to convince, that you'd appeal to the moral high ground or something. Please, hear me out. Let's say I bet a beer that we find Yale in 3 days, and you bet a beer that we don't. In 3 days, one of us has to buy the other a beer. Is that so bad? We're simply 2 grown men using our money and free will to conduct a small private exchange. And most importantly, we're not hurting anyone. So, Yeah, I run a gambling business. What's so bad about that?
It's illegal for starters.
Illegal? Let me tell you what should be illegal. The way our government is ruining America. We live in a so-called free country. A place where honest people can make a living, provided they don't hurt anybody. We're not communists. Well, at least I'm not.
I would have never thought otherwise. As for me, I'm not a...
Ah, well, you see, we're all among friends. In any case, that's not my point. The government betrays our nation's values by passing communist laws that forbid an honest man like me to make a living without hurting a soul. And that, Mr. Blacksad, is just wrong. I'd even say it's unconstitutional. Do you get my point now?
All right, I get your... point.
Ha! I knew you would. When the government passes these laws, there's only one legitimate weapon the people can wield. The same weapon that turned America into a great nation. Civil disobedience. So, as the proud American that I am, it's my duty to disobey.
Sure, but there's no room for your ways in civil disobedience.
My ways? Oh, I know what you're getting at. But what's past is past. I wasn't always a boss, you know. No, sir. I started at the bottom, when Lucky Blitzen ran the show. That good for nothing. His was a reign of terror, extortion, violence, you know, that sort of unpleasant thing. When I took over, I decided I'd make people want to do my bidding, not out of fear, but out of gratitude. I decided to help people so they would help me.
That beating your thugs gave me was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Those poor bastards didn't even know you were a detective, that you were on our side.
Maybe at first, but when they tied me up and beat the socks off me, they knew very well who I was.
Seriously? That goes against my rules. Who was it?
It was just Wilson.
That bastard. Don't you worry. I will have a serious talk with him. I cannot tolerate this behavior. Please accept my apologies, Mr. Blacksad. As I said before, I like to help people so I can count on their gratitude. That applies to fellow partners like police or, in this case, a detective. I won't deny this business has its fair amount of violence, extortion, and casualties, but I'd rather leave that to my enemies. And you are not my enemy. And, it looks like we're here.
Yale's apartment?
I told you I'm on your side. Go ahead, search the place. I'll wait down here. When you're done, you can honor our arrangement and share your findings with me. Or not. It's your call, Mr. Blacksad. I'll make sure you're suitably compensated. Wilson, come here.